Hey everyone. So a couple of weeks ago, I put out that video, The Truth About Expensive Gear. And for the most part, it was pretty well received. I really want to encourage young people to get out there, get on stage and start kicking ass. You don't have to have the best gear in the world when you're playing a basement club or your sister's birthday party. You just need the drive to play live. Now, naturally, the fanboys over at the Fractal Forum freaked the fuck out about it, but they're about as predictable as the sun rising every morning. Yeah, it's okay, guys. You're still rock stars. Keep telling yourselves that anyway. Everybody you're playing to totally notices that you're using 40 different amp sims during your set. Yes, and they truly care about it. Anyway, what really surprised me was the reaction from the Talkbass forum. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that they can get that many dumb people to congregate in one spot. Crom's balls is like a convention for idiots. The insane thing here is that I barely even mentioned bass guitar in the video, yet these guys had a thread 8 pages deep complaining about it. Oh no, I've got the bass players mad at me. Run for the hills. I mean, check this out. Let me read the comment for you guys and you'll see what I mean. Okay, yeah. They all pretty much sound like that, so I've taken my time and translated them from bass player to English to bring you Tales from the Shortbus. Stupid bass player comments from Talkbass. Alright, I'm gonna warn you guys, this gets pretty stupid pretty quickly. If you feel your IQ start to plummet, pause the video, take a short break, and then continue watching. Here we go.
While I agree with him in this case, this guy is a complete asshat. He has some rants about clients in his recording studio that totally illustrate why he is a poopy person to work with and will never have anything more than a second-rate studio or probably any friends.
Poopy? What the fuck are you, in 6th grade? While I do have some great friends, none are obviously as awesome as you. And I've never been invited to sit with the cool kids. However, I'll totally take ownership of owning a second-rate studio, because being a full-time engineer at a second-rate studio is still several thousand times better than being a full-time bass player, you dumb shit.
What a ridiculous video. He's right, but it's still ridiculous. Why? Because I don't choose my gear to please the audience. I choose my gear to please me.
Yep, pleasing yourself. That's what you're all about, but I bet you can't even get that right and keep falling off the beat. Pun intended.
I hate this guy. He's like a teenager living in the exterior shell of a 50-something dude, like an audio equivalent of the comic book store guy in The Simpsons, only with less social skills. Most of his videos are about how everyone besides him, whoever walked in the studio, i.e. his clients, are know-nothing idiots that only waste his oh-so-precious time. All he does is whine very loudly. If I hated my line of work so much, I'd do something else for a living. He even wore a t-shirt that said, "Your bass player is a useless cunt" in one of his YouTube editorials. Seriously, fuck that guy.
Like most bass players, you haven't been paying attention. I work with lots of great musicians. Sometimes this job is actually a lot of fun. The know-nothing idiots are usually playing the 4-stringed instrument. The other ones still haven't figured out how to hold a microphone properly. But understand this, I've worked with some truly amazing bass players, like my friend Chase Bryant, who's gone on to work with Paul Gilbert. I've worked on several projects with him, and it's always been a real treat to have him in the studio because he is a total pro. If more of you guys played like Chase, I wouldn't have any jokes to make and I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. But thanks for noticing this shirt. You can get yours at spectremedia.ca/shop. I've sold these ones all over the world, and they're especially popular in Sweden because the Swedes fucking hate their bass players.
I'll stick my neck out here. For me at least, he doesn't have a valid point at all. Don't most people feel more inspired when their gear feels and sounds good? I'll stick my neck out further and say the more one feels inspired, the better one plays. That, to the audience, should be palpable.
Yeah, because nobody has ever seen a band with awesome gear that didn't completely suck. That's never happened. Ever.
I haven't seen this noted yet, but he's guilty of a pretty significant error in assuming that because he doesn't immediately overhear folks in a bar, club, other small venue talking about tone quality, that they're totally oblivious to it. Some probably are, but many others are noticing, even if they couldn't express themselves in technical terms and would just say that one band sounds better.
Yeah, the significant error you've made in your statement was that you weren't fucking there, you moron! How the fuck can you make a statement like that when you have absolutely no evidence to back yourself up? I specifically noticed the complete lack of commentary on gear and sound at that show. I went looking for it and I didn't find it. My thesis stands. People come to those small club shows to watch the band and don't give a flying fuck about the gear. Now quit bitching and go practice.
I cannot seem to understand why so many people are drawn to and enjoy personalities that are abrasive, obnoxious, and base their entire shtick upon stirring up gigantic pots of feces. For me, it has the effect of causing me to either discount or completely ignore the message, even if there is truth in it. But I will say that it sells, and we are doing exactly what is needed to help this person monetize his shallow opinions and adolescent rants.
Yep, that's a winning scenario. I agree with you, but I don't like you, so I'm ignoring you. Here's an idea. Dry your tears, pay attention, and you just might learn something. I'm more than happy to do shootouts and tutorials. A wise man once said, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. If you want to be miserable, that's your choice. But maybe if you spent more time mastering your instrument and less time complaining on the internet, you wouldn't be so offended by my videos.
Like others here, I buy my gear to please my own ears, and in doing so, usually others like what they hear. I only watched about 20 seconds of the video. I don't appreciate his foul language.
You know, I've never understood the superstition surrounding language. Oh, that's a bad word. Like fuck it is. It's only bad if you make it bad. Lighten up and worry about more important things in life, like helping starving refugees or something. Fuck is only a word.
There's an old saying I learned here in the South. Toss a brick at a pack of dogs and the one that got hit will yell. It really seemed like the guy in the video challenged some people's egos. The ego cannot take corrective criticism or advice without putting in one's mind feelings of personal attack. Notice the word that keeps coming up, but, and it keeps coming up after the words true, truth, points. My Uncle Bobby told me when I was a teenager, a man don't get mad at the truth. He just accepts it and sees if he needs to make a change. I'm glad he taught me that.
Now that is the smartest comment I've read on that forum. You know, George R.R. Martin said in Game of Thrones, nothing before the word but means anything. And that's a very profound statement. There are a lot of I agree but statements. What that really means is that you don't agree. A lot of people just can't handle a hard truth. And sometimes it really sucks to hear it. And it's all something we all, and believe me, I mean myself included, we need to hear this once in a while. The last track I released didn't go as planned, and I got some very constructive feedback. And a lot of not so constructive feedback too. But I am going to retrack it because I'm constantly striving to be better at what I do. And what I want to see from more bass players is people striving to be better, to push themselves and to give a truly great performance, especially where it counts the most, in the studio. Mr. FF, you sir have just won yourself a free t-shirt of your choice from the Spectre Media shop. Hit me up on the Spectre Media Facebook page and I will ship it to you at my own expense. I'll see you next time, guys.